Hi everyone, today I'm going to be comparing the LaRocque Pros side by side so you can kind of see what is in the first palette as well as in the second palette, my thoughts on them, and also just to kind of get to know and explore this palette and see what it is all about compared to the one, and yeah, all that fun stuff. I'm going to try to get through it without getting lipstick on my teeth. If I do get lipstick on my teeth, I'm sorry. Alright, so just to take you through the regular LaRocque 1 Pro, this is going to be your 12 matte shades up here, and then your 12 shimmer shades down at the bottom. It is the same for the number 2 Pro. They both have the matte and shimmers, and in this one you have your white, cream, taupe, light pinks. These are really beautiful blending colors, and then you get into your darkers, a nice warm brown, a nice dark brown, and a deep black. Then you come down here and you have two nice shimmery champagne-y nude and champagne colors, two nice golds, a pewter, a garnet, which is kind of like a red brown, a deep purple, and a slate, which is a gorgeous charcoal brown. Now this palette is probably one of my number 1 favorites, if not my most favorite, because the palette is so versatile. You can do everything from a no makeup look to a bridal look to a full out dark smoke. I'm gonna go, not smoke, smoky. I'm gonna go club and dance my heart out looks. So this palette is really great. It can be transformed into a lot of things. It's extremely sleek. The packaging is a nice hard cardboard with a very strong and sturdy metal, what am I thinking of? Magnetic, that's what I'm thinking of. Magnetic clasp, and they're very thin, which is nice. Now going on to the number 2 palette, this one is a gray. It has the same packaging seen on the LaRocque 1 Shadow palette. And then you open it up and you can see these shades are a little bit different. You have a buff, which is nice, and then you have a light brown, and then you get into cool gray and nectar, which are kind of a little bit different than seen in a lot of other palettes. And you have a plum and navy, and these two colors are just straight exactly what they sound like. And then you have a gorgeous charcoal, which is a beautiful color to have in a palette if you love using cool tone colors, and again a matte black. On the bottom you have snow beige, rose, mocha. I love these 3 shades here so much, really beautiful. Then you have chrome, which is kind of like this, I feel like it's a purple silver. It's really gorgeous. And then you have silver, which is crazy silver, guys. Then you have jade, a beautiful, beautiful kind of deep emeraldy green type of a shade. And then you have cocoa, which is a beautiful kind of red brown, almost kind of leaning towards purple. So that is a walkthrough of both of the palettes. Next I want to show them to you side by side so you can see what is in both palettes, because I feel like you can see a palette and then you look away and you're like, I don't really remember exactly what it is. So here are the 2 palettes, the LaRocque 1 on top and the number 2 on the bottom. And as you can see in these 2 palettes side by side, there is definitely an array of colors, and I feel like other than black, which is obviously kind of, they made it a necessity on both of their palettes, which is really nice because you could always use a stark black color to deepen everything up. I feel like this one has some of your more warm tones in it, whereas this one has more cool tones. And if you look in the shades, it kind of like completes each other. When you look at it, it's like, okay, well here's beige, and then you have light bronze, and then you have rose, and then you have gold, and that kind of completes the set of those tones. And then you look at, okay, there's nude champagne, then there is mocha, and then it goes into garnet. I feel like they like need to be together, because what you don't have in this palette you're going to find in this one, what you don't have in this palette you'll find in this one. Like in the one you have a plain white, which is a matte, in the 2 you have a shimmer white. This one does not have the color buff. This one has more of your like pink or like cream tones. So they're just really beautiful, and both I feel are like the most magical thing together, because they make a baby, a baby. If you like put them together and made a baby, they would be the perfect palette ever. As for the formulas and kind of pigmentation, longevity, and just overall wear of the LaRocque shades in these palettes, I have not found a single one that I could say maybe it's not my favorite. Now, the colors are kind of definitely like a preference on whatever you like to wear, but when it comes to the overall texture and how they go on your eyes, these are probably, I mean, these blend out like a dream. They're so creamy. Just when I put like my fingers into them, the mattes are just so creamy and luxurious feeling. And then in any one of the shimmers from either palette, they're the same exact type of just creamy goodness. What is amazing about that is a lot of matte shades, and you can see them swatched here, a lot of matte shades will be sort of chalky or not very usable because they just don't blend onto the eye really beautifully. And the shimmers can tend to be crumbly and fall apart and just not hold that pack punch of pigmentation because there is the shimmer and glitter, but then I feel like the pigmentation in the kind of like in between our background color is just really weak. None of that is in these palettes. These are so pigmented, so opaque, and they're user-friendly because you can blend. You do not need a lot at all. You only need a little bit, and then they just go on like magic. So the longevity for these shadows, I believe, is probably the best out of most. These palettes are up there with Urban Decay's palettes, which I actually was kind of disappointed on the number 3. I felt like 2 or 3 of those shades were a little bit just kind of, they just weren't very well designed because the glitter or the impact of pigment was really lacking there. And in these ones, I feel like when used either straight on the skin or on a primer, which is recommended for if you're gonna want longevity for your shadows, they stay on all day. I never have to touch them up. I never have to worry about them getting into my crease or caking or just kind of getting weird and muddy and blending together. They are exactly what you need and a really big used palette in my makeup collection because whenever I go and work on clients, bridal, photo shoots, whatever it is, I tend to go towards these as well as my Urban Decay because I know that they're gonna last the like test of time under lights and photography, anything. I am never disappointed in these. So overall opinion, the number 1 has always been pretty much my favorite palette out of all of my palettes that I own. Now the number 2 is right next to it depending on what shades that I need, and I often combine them because like I said, they are meant to be together and they just kind of complete each other. So I enjoy both of these palettes. They are more expensive, but they are totally worth it because they're gonna last you a long time. And if you just had even just one of these palettes, you would not really have to look at a lot of other ones unless you are a girl that changes up her eyeshadow a ton and you just need all that other stuff like me. You know, I totally understand you and I feel you. I feel you. So that is just a quick review and side-by-side of the Lorac palettes. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this mini kind of comparison and review, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!